Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Total Truth Show. And here on the Total Truth Show, we want to help you break free from the lies and propaganda of the mainstream media, all the disinformation and misinformation. We want to help you blast through all of that. And my name is Ken Kleinberg, coming to you all the way from the USA, San Diego, California.
And I'm Aldwyn Altuney, known as the Media Queen from the Gold Coast in Australia.
There is a great awakening happening in the world right now, and you're going to want to come along for the ride.
A lot of lies are coming to the surface. There's a lot of awakening happening. And as this awakening is happening, people realize they've been deceived for years. They've been lied to for years around all sorts of things. A lot of people have been blind to what has been going on in the world, and now they're starting to see. They're starting to see things in a different light.
Through our show, we want to raise global consciousness to quantum critical mass. And we don't want you just to accept the things that we're saying. That goes for our guests as well. We want you to do the research for yourself. Get out there and start questioning things. Start looking things up. Do the research. We want to pave the way for a new awakened world. And we want you to come along for the ride. So with that, let's get started, you guys. Let's dive into today's episode. Once again, welcome.
Welcome to Total Truth Show, episode 67. What a hot topic we have today, the truth about work-life balance. How is my amazing co-host, Ken Kleinberg? How are you feeling today?
I am doing amazing. How about you?
I'm excellent. Thank you very much. And I love this topic because I know a lot of people are challenged with work-life balance. And we do like to make this an interactive show. So for those joining us on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, and X, hello. I can see Sheffin there on Instagram. Let us know, where are you joining us from if you're on the live today? And what questions do you have about work-life balance, or what do you use in your life to help bring some balance to your work life? Now, Ken, is this something that you have battled with personally, work-life balance, at any stage?
You know, I think it really comes down to me time. You know, it's because I'm an entrepreneur, so I work from home, and I think the challenge with working from home, working for yourself, is building in intentionally building in the me time into your schedule, and being okay with the me time, not judging yourself or bullying yourself, saying I'm not doing enough, I'm not this, and blah blah blah. You know, the me time is definitely important to refresh, even if that means for, you know, if you're just like you've got a real busy, cramped, tight schedule, but even if that means you're scheduling in 10 to 15 minutes a couple times per day to go on a walk, to refresh, to regroup, to reset. I think that is very important, but also it is important to take those days where you take one day and everything on your schedule has been wiped for that day, and you just pretty much go do what you want to do. For me, you know, it's like go to the beach, swim in the ocean. You know, that was the last time I had a me day. You know, I swam in the ocean. It was a beautiful day. The sun was sparkling on the water and everything else. There's so many things I can tell about that day. It was just so remarkable. And the cool thing about it is weather's warming up right now. And so as soon as weather gets a little bit warmer, I'm probably going to be taking a couple more of those me days coming up here in the next few months, because that was just such an enjoyable experience for me.
I must say, I love the ocean as well. And I find if I don't get in the ocean at least once a week, I feel like I'm missing something. And the beauty is, living on the Gold Coast, I actually swim in winter time. So we've just entered winter here on the Gold Coast in Australia. And the weather around some parts of Australia around 9 degrees centigrade. However, here on the Gold Coast, it's mostly around sort of 20 degrees. It's still pretty good. And I went for a beach walk this week, did a 90-minute beach walk, had a swim in the ocean. It was absolutely divine. And I must say, it is so beautiful just to cleanse the whole body. And I love this topic, work-life balance, because there's a great saying that if you love what you do, you don't have to work another day in your life. Okay, so work-life balance is interesting because we think a lot of people doing 9-to-5 jobs, generally they don't like their jobs. And this is where they say there's this Mondayitis and people go, Friday, yeah, it's fantastic. It's Friday, the end of the working week, right? But ideally, I think in life, you really want to find something that you love so much that it doesn't feel like work. And at the same time, it's fantastic to do things like get massages or go to the movies. This is a great way I just take my mind off things. I saw a great movie. In fact, Mondays are normally sort of my day off, as in my day away from computers, and my day to just do stuff that I just want to do. As far as watching a movie is not really work related, right? Like, however, in some ways I look at how they do the cinematography and how the acting is, having done some acting myself in my life and having been a filmmaker as well. I look at various aspects of the film process for my media. However, generally there I'm there to relax, right? And Ordinary Angels is a great movie I saw on Monday. Absolutely loved it. If you haven't seen the movie Ordinary Angels, I recommend see it because it will give you renewed faith in society. The whole movie shows how this family with a little sick girl, they couldn't raise the money to get the girl treated at hospitals, hundreds of thousands of dollars in bills, and how the community rallied to save the life of this little girl. And it's based on a true story, which I love that too. I love seeing inspiring movies, and that's a great way that I bring a work-life balance into what I do. So yeah, there's lots of things that can come into work-life balance. We're going to cover a few points today, and we do invite you, our live viewers, to participate here and to let us know what you think, and if you have any questions or comments, what's worked for you in the area of work-life balance. Now, I know, Ken, for a long time, I was a journalist for over 20 years, and it was full on. Like, there was a lot of time I was sitting at the computer. And actually, even in my uni days, I did a media degree, BA in communications, majoring in media at the University of Canberra. That was from 1992 to 1994. I'm showing my age now, right? And while there, I edited the university newspaper. And this newspaper we'd put out every 2 weeks. We had about 30 contributors, and we had every 2 weeks we had to get this newspaper out, 24 to 48 pages. And every 2 weeks I would have a sleepless night putting this publication out with my other editors. We had 2 other editors at the time. And I must say, that is not good work-life balance, right? As much as you may like what you do, you may enjoy what you do, you also need to get some sleep, right? And I find nowadays, I'm lucky generally if I get 4.5 to 6 hours sleep a night, because I'm just on such a roll through the day, having a fantastic time, etc. However, we do have to be careful not to burn ourselves out. And I do know that I've had a little bit of a habit of, sort of go, this sort of adrenaline lifestyle habit of go, crash, go, crash, right? So really it's important to moderate that and to really tune into your body. And this is something I've found really, really helpful for me, is I have been doing things like yoga and meditation. And sometimes, like if I've been at the computer for a while at home, because I work from home, a lot of people work from home now on their laptops, etc. I find I just put some really cool music on and I have a bit of a boogie. I'll just dance around the house by myself. I don't care. I don't care even if people are there. I just have a little dance and just shake it off and change state. And then I get back to my work if I'm feeling a bit flat or a little bit like a bit sort of, when you sort of, when you get really tired, things they seem to take twice as long to do when you're really tired. And on the Media Mavens show last night, we were talking about getting into flow state. We were talking about how to overcome overload. Fantastic show for anyone who feels overload or overwhelmed. This could be at work or in family situations or relationships, or, overload and overwhelm are 2 very interesting things. And when we look at work-life balance, well, what does that actually mean to you? What does that mean to you? Let us know in the comments here. What does it mean to you, work-life balance? What does that look like to you? How do you bring balance into your work life? So what are some other things you do, Ken, to bring balance into your working life?
It's more of scheduling, So for one thing, I remember it was quite a few years ago. I tried doing a personal calendar and then doing a business calendar. Let me tell you something. If that's something that you've thought about doing, don't do it. It's a mess. It creates a mess. Just do everything in one calendar. All right. So just a little word of advice. That didn't work for me. I thought maybe it
Right.
would be better and things would be separate and different. And no, no, no. No.
Mm,
So now on my calendar, if it doesn't get placed on my calendar, even if it's a reminder to make a payment or something like that, it doesn't get done. I am so like in tune to that calendar. So that's one. So even setting little reminders in that calendar to remember this and that and different things like that. It's
mm,
that's key. Being organized and being intentional with your time is key.
yes.
Have I mastered that, all of it? Not necessarily, but I'm definitely a lot better at it than I used to be. But even here's another thing that I do, and this kind of just this goes more on the work and being organized and kind of knowing what I'm doing and what my goals are. When I put a time slot on my calendar that says, all right, this is the time I'm gonna work. I'm gonna build my content. I'm gonna do that in that little time slot that in the Google Calendar, you've got like a notes section, and I will literally bullet point in the notes section what things I'm going to be working on during that time slot. So that when it comes to that, when it comes to me sitting down, I'm not sitting there going, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Because sometimes I
Mm,
have those moments and I'm just like, what am I going to work on today? What am I going to focus on? And then later that day, when I really haven't gotten much done, I'm sitting there beating myself up over it. And so it's better if you have that organization. And you know, generally as an entrepreneur, it is hard. It's hard to turn the switch off and say, okay, I'm done with work for today. I'm gonna go over here and I'm going to enjoy myself for the evening or whatever. Sometimes that's hard to turn that switch off. However, I will say lately, one of the things that I've been doing is I've been taking some nights here and there, and I've been diving into a little bit of that relaxed time that I usually have. And I've been taking that time and I've been spending it with writing. And the reason why I've been doing that is because I've actually been really enjoying it, and especially doing it at nighttime in the quiet hours. Nobody's up, everything's quiet. I can put on I do the same thing. I kind of put on some music, just maybe mood music to get me in the mood. And I'm just sitting there typing. And it's just like I'm in my own little world. And it's amazing. So, it's really about finding what is going to work for you in that balance and to keep that. Another thing too that I will mention that's very important in the work life balance. Yeah, especially if you're an entrepreneur. Especially if you're not an entrepreneur. We sit a lot. We don't get a whole bunch of movement. Um, and so it's really important to intentionally set those times in your schedule to either pop yourself into the gym. It doesn't have to be long, maybe a half hour, 40 minutes, get some movement in, get some exercise in. And it doesn't have to be 7 days a week. It's 3 4 days a week is great. Even if it's you setting those little time slots in your calendar to get up, stretch, to go for a short walk, get in some movement. That is very important. We were not meant as humans to sit as much as we do nowadays. So that is also
yes.
something that's very important.
So true. And that's why I love stretching, and sometimes just, seeing if I can reach my toes, bending forward it feels so good to do that. And just to, and sometimes I lie back and put my legs either side and just really stretch the whole body out. This is where yoga is so fantastic, or, even
Mhm.
just stretching in bed. And and making the time for you, particularly if you're a high achiever, my friends. And I know a lot of our contacts are high achievers. And so what can happen with high achievers is that you tend to go, and do so much for others that you forget to do things for yourself. And this is where at the start of the day, ideally, you want to make some time for yourself first before you help others. And every morning now, since I got sick, I realized when I got sick coming back from the Philippines about a month ago, and I went into this really bad funk, I thought, what the hell is going on with me? And I had just had to shake myself out. I thought, oh my gosh, I haven't been meditating. Right? I went to the Philippines and it was like, go off to the next thing. And I didn't get the meditations in. It was just 5 minutes, 10 minutes of meditating. And, back in the day, I was really challenged with meditating. I found it really hard to silence my mind to be able to meditate. Whereas now it's become such a practice and such a, for me, it's like a luxury. If I do a 15-minute, 20-minute meditation in the morning, that's like a luxury. But even if I just get 5 minutes in, 10 minutes, I feel so much better for the day. And usually my cat comes and cuddles me first thing in the morning. And I have that beautiful time of connecting with my cat, which is a wonderful thing to do too. If you have pets or if you have even birds or, connecting with nature and animals are so present in the moment. And when you're present in the moment, you're not feeling any stress. You're just in the moment. And it's a beautiful experience. So when we say work-life balance, often people say that because they know a lot of people get burnout, right? They're feeling burnout. They're feeling like, oh my gosh, can't handle all this stuff. There's just so much to do always. And I know I've certainly had a big issue with feeling like there's so much to do and not enough time. It's been a consistent complaint. So much to do, not enough time. And the thing is, as entrepreneurs, we're always going to have a lot to do, no matter how big your team is. And so nowadays, I write down in my diary, I have a physical diary and an online calendar at the same time. And I write down my key things to get done that day. Now, they don't always get done. However, if they don't always get done, then there's an impact to them not getting done. And now what I've just started, just in the last few weeks, actually, I've got together with a dear girlfriend, and now we've got accountability messages that happen on a Monday. Every week, we message each other. These are our 3 big rock items to get done this week. These are the 3 big things that are going to move the needle, that are going to make the biggest difference in my week this week. And we've also got in our accountability chat, it's just a simple messenger chat where we just put, these are our 3 things we want to get done. And then I'll put some bonus items as well. And actually last week, out of the 5 things I wrote, I got 3 of them done, which is great. And now the other 2, they carry over to this week. And then I look at the things, okay, well, those things I've carried over to this week, why was I procrastinating around those things? Because they might only take half an hour to an hour to get those things done. However, I've been procrastinating around. So you start to see a bit of a pattern. You go, okay, what's going on there? Without making yourself wrong about it, it's just like, okay, you realize that when you honor your word for yourself and when you honor your word for others, you feel great about it. And every time you don't, you're not going to feel as self-empowered. You're not going to feel as much self-love. There's going to be parts of you that will beat yourself up, even if you do your best not to make yourself wrong about it. On a psychological level, subconscious level, the more you can honor your word, the better you will feel, the more empowered you will feel for yourself and others. And so then it comes down to, okay, be careful what you give your word to, right? And I've had an issue for a long time around sort of time management, self-management around time, right? So nowadays, I might say to people, they say something's on at 2, I'll say, well, I may get there at 2:30 or whatever. Like if I've got something else on, I know I've got something else on, I'm not going to be able to make it at 2, then I'll say, expect me around 2:30. I don't sort of give it exact, so then if it's a little bit later, I'll message them and say, hey, I'm on my way or whatever. So I give myself a little bit more movement around that. Or I say, I'll see you in the afternoon sometime, or I'll give you a call when I'm on my way because I've got a meeting before that. I don't know what time that meeting's going to finish. So I just give myself a bit more room. So be careful what you give your word to as well. I think that's really important when it comes to work-life balance, because I think a lot of it is around your mental state. It's around how you're doing life. Are you living life in a peaceful state? Are you living life in flow? Are you finding it a challenge to get stuff done? Because often the thing is when we get into overwhelm, when we've got that feeling of overwhelm, like, oh my gosh, so much to do, not enough time, what happens is you get into this stress state and you procrastinate even more. You tend to, might go do some cleaning, or you'll make yourself another coffee, or, whatever it is, and you just avoid things. And the more you procrastinate, the crappier you're going to feel around that thing. And the thing is not going to go away, because what you resist persists. what you resist persists, right? And I'm certainly not perfect, right? Like now, recently there was an awards entry for the BX Awards, actually, right? And which I've been a finalist in the BX Awards. I actually won one of the BX Awards a few years ago, but I missed the deadline. I missed the time frame of getting my entry in this year. So, it seems that just about everyone who enters the BX Awards becomes a finalist, but I actually missed the deadline. I had it in my diary to do it, and around that time I was feeling pretty crap and probably sleeping a lot because I just wasn't feeling good. I had it in my diary to get it done, and I didn't get it done. And so now there's an impact of that. So now I'm not in the BX Awards. I'm not, I'm not a finalist, and I don't have a chance of winning because I'm not in it. And you've got to be in it to win it. And sometimes, even when you've got so much going on in the day, and I do tend to take on a lot, sometimes we have to go that extra mile to sort of meet those deadlines or meet those time frames to actually, have the benefit of that. So now, because of that, there's been an impact, right? I didn't make the deadline in time. I didn't get the entry in. And now, I'm not announcing that I'm a finalist or I'm not in the running to be a potential winner this year because I missed that time frame. But the good news is it's a big learning for me, right? It's a big learning because now I think, okay, well, what other opportunities could I be missing by just not putting myself forward? There's millions of awards every year, right? There's a lot, like, I'm all about helping people be seen, heard, and known, and awards are a great way to do it. And the last big idea award I won with the Heart of Women Awards, I didn't even know about the awards. A friend nominated me, and I ended up winning that and became a finalist in three others awards there. And I didn't even know about it. So, it's actually actively going out and looking for these opportunities where, it'll make you feel better about what you do. A bit of acknowledgement. Everyone likes a bit of acknowledgement, right?
Yes.
So what are your thoughts on that, about when you don't honor your word versus when you do honor your word?
Oh, gosh. So, yeah, when you don't honor your word, especially when it's your word to yourself, there is so much that goes on. For example, like, your subconscious mind is very wise to whether you're serious about something or when you're not. And that's also a big part of it. So when you make a commitment to yourself and you're going to do X, Y, and Z, and you're going to whatever, it's important to follow through on that. Now, it doesn't always have to be necessarily within that time frame that you were supposed to hit. Maybe you got 3/4 of it done in the time frame you were giving. Maybe you had some complications and it took longer, so you only got 3/4 of it done in the certain time frame that you originally gave yourself. You should still celebrate that as a win. And then complete the last half of it the next day, or when you give yourself another time slot to complete that. But celebrate the fact that you did accomplish something in that, even if you did not complete the whole task. That's really, really important. It's important to celebrate your accomplishments, however small. And by accomplishments, let me be really clear on that. It does not mean full completion. It means maybe I've got this article that I'm writing on the real truth around. So here's a great example. Article I'm writing around the real truth around the COVID vaccines. Lovely topic.
Yes.
And you just kind of, I've been piecing through it because I've got to do a lot of deep research around it as well. I know what I want to say, but I also want to bring people a lot of sources to look at and to go and see. And by the way, I do not believe it was a vaccine at all, just for some of the listeners out there. I believe it was a very damaging bioweapon that was launched at the people around the world. So enough about that. And you can read the article when it comes out. But I've been piecing my way through it. It's taking a lot longer than what I wanted this particular section of the article. It's actually part 2B of an article series that I'm writing. And I need to remember that if I've logged in time and I've typed, even if it's just a few paragraphs, that's a win. No, I didn't complete the article, but that's a win. And I get to celebrate that as a win. Those things are really, really important in your regular day-to-day routine, is to celebrate those little things, those accomplishments. And it does something to you psychologically when you're constantly in that state. It actually puts you more in a focused and flow state to begin doing that and looking for your wins, looking for your accomplishments than anything else. It will actually lock you right into that flow state, if you will. Interesting enough, I was looking up some stuff right before our show today on this, and it's like I found this on a website. The following are a few signs that you're striking a good balance between your job and other areas of your life. Here are the signs. 1, you don't feel like the demands of your work roles and personal obligations are constantly in conflict. 2, you're able to meet your deadlines at work without having to work overtime. 3, you are getting plenty of sleep at night, Aldwyn. You are getting plenty of sleep at night and eating healthy and a balanced diet. Aldwyn's 4 hours of sleep. As a weight loss coach and also a health coach, that's not enough sleep. You need to get more.
Yes. Thank you, coach.
You're welcome. Here's another one. You don't spend the end of your weekend consumed by the Sunday scaries. In other words, Monday's approaching, all that kind of stuff. Here's another one. Oh, I lost my place. Here we go. Okay. You have plenty of time to relax and enjoy your hobbies. Ooh, that's a big one. Here's another one. You feel like you're spending enough time with family and friends. That's another key one. You don't worry about your job when you're not at work. Or for us entrepreneurs, you don't worry about your business when you're not in front of the computer and working. You feel like you are being productive at work and making progress towards your professional goals, but you don't feel like your whole identity hinges on your job or your business. Last 2, you're taking your vacation days, using your sick days. How this applies to entrepreneurs is you are making time for you. You are making time to go do whatever it is you want to do and go ahead and flow with that and be guilt-free on that. That's huge. You're taking advantage of any work-life benefits your employer offers, like gym memberships, flexible scheduling, and childcare vouchers. How does that transfer to entrepreneurs? You're taking advantage of the benefits that working for yourself can bring. It can bring a flexible gym schedule. It can bring all kinds of different things. And you take advantage of all the perks of being able to work for yourself and work from home. So those are just some of the key things, kind of bringing more of the positive aspects out of it on how you can know that you are striking a good balance between your business, your work, your job, and other areas of your life. Thoughts on that, Aldwyn?
Yeah, I love that. I think that's very important. And I love particularly the celebrate the small wins. I think that's really, really important because notice when you get to the end of the day, notice the conversation in your head where you think, are you thinking to yourself, oh my gosh, there's still so much left to do? Or do you get to the end of the day and you acknowledge yourself for those small wins? Like, oh, I did this today, and this happened. And, and so just noticing those conversations in your head, I think are really important. Celebrate those small wins, acknowledge yourself for what you have done. I think very important. And with a lot of people working from home, I did a little bit of research here as well. And, setting specific work hours is something that works for a lot of people. They say, right, just between, 9 and 5 or 9 to 12, whatever it is, that just in that time, I'm going to have work hours, whatever work means to you. It could be the time at the computer. It could be making calls, whatever it is for you. Set specific times that you do that and chunk your time together, block time together so you can be more productive with the work time that you do have. Because you could spend 9 hours at the computer and get the work done that you could get done in 2 hours if you just focused. And if you use something like Pomodoro technique where you do 25 hours, sorry, 25, not 25, 25.
I was going to be able to what?
25 minutes. Yeah. Oh God, it feels like 25 hours sometimes. 25 minutes of focused attention, and then you have a 5-minute break. And there's some really good audios on Facebook or on YouTube where you can actually do this. Actually, we've got one on our Media Queen TV YouTube channel on Aldwyn Altuney Media Queen TV. We've actually put the Pomodoro technique. There's a 3-hour video from on there about it's a background music that you can play, which has this beautiful, relaxing music. And then at 25 minutes in, it says, now it's time to take a break, right? And so then you take your 5-minute break and then you come back. So you can have that running in the background, which also helps to calm your mind and help you to be more productive in that way as well. Make some plans after work as well. So you could set some times to go to the gym. For example, on a Friday afternoon, 5:45 p.m., I had a regular restorative yoga class that I would go to. So I would make sure that I wrapped up all my calls by sort of 5 o'clock so I could get down to the gym and do restorative yoga on a Friday afternoon, as an example. And then I'll make time to go and have a sauna and I'll just have some beautiful me time, have a lovely shower, do all of those things. So make some plans after work so that you have to get away from your computer for those who get a bit addicted to working sometimes. Also, determine some achievable goals for yourself. What are some main things that you want to get done for the day? And do those things. Some people say eat that frog, right? Eat the frog first thing in the morning. Get the big tasks done early in the day so that you then free yourself up to do more of the menial tasks. Get the important stuff done. The important and the urgent stuff, get that done first. The stuff that really needs to be done, and then whatever else you can put aside, put that aside. Because when people contact you, if they're emailing you or they're calling you, it's their to-do list, not your to-do list, right? It's things that other people want you to do. So you really need to prioritize yourself to make sure that those big rock items get met. Otherwise, you'll be wasting time doing a whole lot of small things that are insignificant, and learning to say no, and actually just in line with that for our friends.
That was another one I saw in this article I pulled up. Learning to say no.
Exactly, right? So learning to say no is very, very important. And the clearer you are on what you want to achieve in life, your vision, your mission, etc., the easier it will be to say no to things, okay, that aren't in line. Otherwise, you could just be like, have bright, shiny object syndrome, which I know I've had once or twice in my life. I'm speaking from experience. Bright, shiny, where you go from here to there and like, oh, yeah, I want to go to this event. Oh, yeah, go to that event. Oh, but what about that thing you said, the big rock thing you want to get done, right? So it's prioritizing that over, and maybe reward yourself with going to that event or whatever once you get your big rock items done. Taking proper breaks is important, and that's where the Pomodoro technique is brilliant as a productivity tool. 25 minutes focused attention, 5-minute break. Create a designated workspace. Now, yesterday I cleaned my whole workspace up, and I tell you what, it felt so much better. It felt so much better because, I have found sometimes, when I clean or organize things, sometimes within a few days it can be, things everywhere again, the creative workspace, right? So actually making the time to get organized, to keep your space organized, your workspace. And I have all my little props and, my little wand, magic wand, anything is possible for you. Lots of little props and things around here for my shows. So everything's set up, ready to go. And, sometimes it can look a bit chaotic. However, it feels really good to organize your space. And then be good to yourself, be kind to yourself. Another thing is get dressed for work. Now, I must say many times I have been working in my pajamas. It's true. It has happened. And you don't see what's underneath here. I've got the funky clothes on today because work-life balance to me is also about having fun. So I put my little fun outfit on today, but having some fun, playing some music, having a dance around, have a sing along to your favorite song, put the classic hits on or whatever it is that lights you up, play some happy music. And actually on Spotify and on Amazon Music, they've actually got happy playlist songs, like feel good music. Put the feel good music on and see how you feel when you're dancing around to Dancing Queen from ABBA or those kind of songs. Like you feel good about them. New York is another feel good one. So get dressed for work.
I've got to share something about like the music, because I do. It really does help, at least for me, help me to focus and get into the flow of what I'm doing, to have music playing in the background on my computer. What I
Yes.
usually listen to is, so it really just depends on my mood. Like if I'm in if I am tasking myself with a whole bunch of typing and writing because I'm working on an article or content or whatever, one of the things that I love doing, and you can find this stuff all over YouTube, is I love putting on piano jazz music in the
Lovely.
background. The reason why for that is because it makes me feel like I'm in a old school classic coffee house,
Mm,
and I'm just sitting there on my computer just typing away like a writer. And so I love that. And then there's another one that I'll look up on YouTube and listen to as well, and I love it. It's called chill hop music, lofty music, and it's
nice.
actually really cool. I look at the ones that are more upbeat a little bit to kind of like set that focus and set that mood as I'm doing, whatever it is I'm doing for the day. So those are just a couple suggestions. Maybe they'll work for you as well. But it just really just depends on my mood on what I'll pull up. But anyhow, continue, Aldwyn.
I love that. Now, we do need to wrap up quickly today. We've got a short, sharp show today, so we are going to have a shorter show. So if you do have comments, let us know now. I'll forever hold your peace. Okay, Rhonda is here. Hello, Rhonda Campbell. I love Body Groove for movement because they have short burst grooves, short burst grooves. That's a bit of a tongue twister. Body Groove. Okay, cool. We'll have to check out the Body Groove. Thank you for that suggestion, Rhonda. Hello, we've got Sinan, we've got Anne Robinson, John Perry, Finn, Carol Posty, however you say that. Hello on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitch, and X. Hello. What are your thoughts around work-life balance? What do you do to bring balance into your working life for those who are working and for those who aren't working? How do you keep balance in your life too? Because a lot of people often not working and can create all sorts of drama for themselves and have absolutely no balance because they're watching Netflix all day, or they're playing games all day. I mean, that's not balance either, whether it's work life or living life or whatever. How do you bring balance into your day? Okay, we need to wrap up. So Ken, how can people connect with you, my friend?
Well, so before I go into that, just really quickly as we're wrapping up, just a small little bit about myself. So, I mean, you heard that I am a weight loss coach, a health coach, based on my own transformational experience of losing 62.5 pounds and keeping it off for 6+ years now. So that's what I do now. And I'm a faith-based weight loss coach. I empower my clients to master their weight and health goals through a 7-part framework by applying Christian principles that ignites them to achieve mastery in sustainability and keeping the weight off for life, all without a diet. So if you'd like to find out more about what that 7-part framework looks like and dive deep with that and everything else, it is an amazing framework. You can reach out to me on my Linktree and you can book an appointment with me on my calendar. That is the best way to reach out to me. Even if you choose not to work with me, at least I've been given an opportunity to get to know you, vice versa, and I can probably point you in the right direction. But I would just love the opportunity to connect with you and help you out in your journey. So you can find me, for those of you who are listening on audio, you can find me at www.linktr.ee/Fat Fighter Ken. And on there is a link to book an appointment with me on my calendar. So you can go book it on my virtual calendar. And then also on there at the top is a link to become a friend of mine on Facebook. Connect with me there as well. And then you can send me messages on Messenger or whatever.
Fantastic. All right. So check out that Linktree, linktr.ee/Fat Fighter Ken. And for those who want to connect with me, you can go to
Powerful
linktr.ee
ones here.
/Aldwyn. You just froze there for a sec, Ken. You froze. So we just ran through that. What's your quote for the day, Ken?
Well, I was just about to quote it. I didn't know I'd frozen. All right. Yeah. Thank you for taking control of that. Okay, so 2 quotes. Here's the first one from Stephen convey. And this is the key is not to prioritize what's on your schedule, but to schedule your priorities.
Nice one.
Oh yeah. And here's another one by, and I miss this guy. He came out with a lot of really great content and stuff. Jim Rohn. Everybody knows Jim Rohn. And here's a
Yes.
quote from here. Here's a quote from him. Either you run the day or the day runs you. This kind of goes back to something that I've spoke to before. Each day, set intentions for your day. Be intentional. Don't just start your day and go with the flow and be reactive. Start your day and be proactive through your day. So there you go.
I love it. Thank you so much, Ken Kleinberg. And for those who want to connect with me, go to linktree/Aldwyn, linktr.ee/Aldwyn. Has all my links. Aldwyn is spelled ALDWYN. There you will find a whole lot of free resources to help you get media exposure, help you get out and be seen, heard, and known in the mass media. Also on there, you will find a link to book a call with me as well. Okay, there's limited times in there, so hop along if you want to have a chat about how we can help get you out there. Also, you'll find a link to the Global Good News Challenge, which happens every month. It's a great way for you to practice gratitude and share good news. And the whole idea is to lift the energy on the planet and help to decrease depression and suicide rates. I've personally had depression. I've had 4 friends take their own lives by the age of 45. And the Global Good News Challenge is a way that we're helping to change that, to create a whole lot of good news crusaders, particularly for those who are sick of all the negative news out there. This is a way that you can be the change you wish to see in the world by doing that. And for those who are in Brisbane, tomorrow I'm going to be speaking on the Vince Vaughn stage alongside Vince Vaughn at a JT Fox event. It's going to be amazing. 3,000 people or so at the Brisbane Convention Centre tomorrow. And I'm speaking about how to build a global brand on stage alongside Vince Vaughn, which I'm so excited about. I saw Vince speak in LA at the Mega Success event back in, I think it was 2019, or it was pre-COVID. And he's an amazing guy, really heart-centered, from Chicago originally. I can't wait to see him and speak on stage alongside him. So for those who are in Brisbane, come and say hello. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Starts at 8, I believe, 8 till about 5 tomorrow at the Brisbane Convention Centre. It's called the Power of Success event. You can check out my Facebook, check out the banner there, and you'll see all the details about that. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you haven't already, check out Aldwyn Altuney Media Queen. There's over 1,200 videos on there. There's a whole lot of comedy videos. I put some of my favorite comedies on there too. So if you want to just go and have a good laugh and get some joy into your life, that's a great way to bring some work-life balance into your life as well. Hello, Pachwang Nguyen just joined us there on Instagram. Good to see you guys. What did you get out of today's show? Let us know. And also share the love. Join us on, check out our Facebook page as well, Total Truth Show Facebook page, and make sure you like that page as well. And my quote today is, balance is not something you find, it's something you create. Balance is not something you find, it's something you create. All right, we need to wrap up here. Any final words, Ken, before we wrap up?
Nope, I am good.
Okay, beautiful. And we do have some awesome guests coming up and some awesome shows around happiness, about how to be happier in your life. So stay tuned, stay connected, and we look forward to seeing you then. Thank you so much. Share the love. Let us know what you got in the chat, and share this with people who you think may not have such great work-life balance now, may need to hear some of the things we've said in this show today. Sending you much love. It's a wrap, and yay. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. It's a wrap. We'll see you next time on Total Truth Show. Bye. Bye. See you then. See you. Oh, a bit of taking control. Taking control. Good on you, Rhonda. Awesome. Taking control. Yes, here's to taking control. Total Truth Show agrees. We'll see you again next time, guys. Thank you.